Okay. Yeah, welcome everybody, and using this opportunity to welcome you to this live podcast. This is the maiden edition of Navigating Life with Iweniyi. It is a kind of podcast where we explore, different opportunities that can impact people, most especially the youth, and it is going to be impactful and highly insightful, exploring lives of people who have who have gone through a particular phase in life, and for us to be able to ask them about how did they do it, what are their experiences, what advice can they give to the people that are coming from behind. So you are going to be hearing directly live from people who have been there before, and that is the whole essence of this platform. Here with me today is Ifeanyi, popularly known as Frankie. So I'm honored to welcome you to this live podcast where we navigate life together through sharing of life experiences, most especially those people who have actually left their countries to another country. So Ifeanyi here is my friend, my brother, right from Nigeria. Uh, Currently is living in Sweden, but I will not let the cat out of the bag myself. I would want him to say it himself. Let's hear from the horse's mouth, and just a brief introduction from you, my brother.
Oh, thank you so much for having me around. My name is Ifeanyi Ezoka, and I live here in Sweden. I've been living here for now for 4 years plus. Yes, and quite it's quite experience. I mean, we've experienced so lot, and it's quite. I'm happy to be here. Anyways,
Yeah. Thank you very much. Before we start, before I relocated from Nigeria, I used to hear a lot about Sweden, and I have a lot of friends in Sweden anyway. And I also found out that Sweden is, a kind of very cold environment. What can you say about that compared to like you coming from Nigeria, that is a kind of temperate environment, to a very cold region?
yes, I mean, Sweden is really very cold country. It's just like in Nigeria. In Nigeria, we have north, south, east, and west. With some part of the north being the coldest, like places like Jos. You can't
Of
compare
course.
Jos with a place like Enugu, the eastern parts. I mean, the weather and the temperature is quite different. So that's
Yeah.
how it is in Sweden. Yeah, I live here in the northern part of the Sweden. And
Really?
yes, and here it's really cold. People down south, like the capital here of Sweden is Stockholm. Like people in Stockholm don't feel this kind of cold here. They might be in -2, -2, -1, -3, but here at times we have -38, 35.
Wow.
So
Wow.
very, 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 very cold.
Wow, that is awesome. -35 can be so draining. It can be so bad on your body, on your skin. Like there are times I used to feel like, when the kind of experience we used to have back in Nigeria, when uh, maybe you have ice block, you now place it on your skin. That is a kind of experience that you guys will be going through. Now, moving on from there, uh, now let's go back to Nigeria. Before you relocated to Sweden, what were you doing in Nigeria, and what do you think motivated you leaving Nigeria to Sweden?
I mean, there are lots of factors that motivates each and every one of us. For me, I wasn't looking at one thing before coming to Sweden. I read in my bachelor's degree. I was an engineer, civil engineer by profession. Was practicing. You know how it is back there. Being a builder or a civil engineer, you have to go from site to site to look for, hunt for jobs, and many a times you don't even know what today will bring for you. At times it's so boring. I mean, you just go out for the day. At the end of the day, you might come back empty-handed. You might go out, come back with a job to do, and the job is not consistent. So I started thinking about like ways to, cut this off and make sure I'm not wasted, because um, it's so tiring and boring. Like, you don't know what tomorrow will bring.
Yeah.
And I had to venture into some personal businesses here and there, but still, it wasn't giving me the kind of life.
Yeah, the satisfaction that you want. Yeah.
Yes. So I started thinking about, though traveling abroad has been my dream, it should be like everyone's dream back there in Nigeria right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was my dream, but I want to do it the right way. Then lots of research and all that. I mean, I found out, okay, it's better off me developing myself,
Okay.
rather than just coming to the country. Maybe you come on a visitor's visa and you're sneaking around. You will just waste your time. At the end of the day, you're back home. So I have lots of factors that push me, that
Yeah.
the not knowing what tomorrow will bring, the
Yeah.
security, the future, all those combinations made me to conclude that it's time to leave.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for taking us through that experience. But you said you actually, banged upon the factor of, developing yourself. Can you let us into that? Are you talking about relocating through study abroad or through a skill worker visa? How did you, what particular route did you use from Nigeria to move?
I mean, I went through study route. I came here to do my masters for 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and be honest. I mean, it's so helpful. I mean, when you travel abroad, I don't know, but when you come to Europe, then you find out the way we study in Nigeria is quite different from the way
Absolutely.
we study here. So you have to drop that mentality of, that's kind of how we learned. So when you come here, they teach you how to study. You
Hmm.
know, it's more of self-study here. You
Yeah.
have to go back, do research by yourself, come back and tell the class or your teacher or the professor what you've studied. They,
Yeah.
they have to evaluate you by what you say, you're thinking, and you're learning, which is,
Yeah.
to me, I think is quite beneficial. Do it yourself.
Yeah.
But I like.
Yeah. Wow, that is massive. But looking at what you just explained to us now, studying abroad is not something that is very easy, most especially when you look at the financial implication. How were you able to navigate this? The finances, the school fees, living expenses, and all that.
Bro, looking back now to what you just said, I just have had a reflection, like a flashback. Man, it's not easy. I mean, if your father is not a politician or a governor or a big businessman out there, you don't have an uncle or a sister who's going to support you. Believe me, it's going to be so hard, especially when you are here for 2 years. I mean, 1 year you can count down, because 1 year study, maybe doing your masters abroad, is
Yeah.
not actually 1 year.
Just like 9 months or 10 months.
It's not here. It's not even up to 10 months, because
Yeah.
on your 8 months you're already doing your project, writing your project.
Yeah.
So which you can finish in 3 weeks, 1 month. It depends on how fast you are, and that's it. You wait for your defense and all that. So coming on 2 years, and here you pay your school fees every 4 months. I guess, yeah, every
Yeah.
4 months, you pay your school fees, and you have deadline. So when I came, I don't even know if I have up to $1,000, but I don't want that to deter me. I
Yeah.
mean, paying your rent every month, your house rent. Oh, yes, I was in student hostel. Yeah, paying the rent, it wasn't still easy. It's not like it's cheap, but student hostels are way more cheaper off than on other
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah.
Then doing your groceries, paying your tax, insurance on your cars, you know, so much bills. So I had to pick side jobs. I was doing 2 to 3 jobs at the same time. Like, I go to school in the morning, finishing from school, I'm back home, undress. At times, I don't even go back home from school. I'm going to my first job. From my first job, I'm going to my second job. From my second job, I'm going to the late night shift. After the late night shift, coming back home, I'm opening my laptop to do my assignments to study. It's not easy, bro. Like it's so boring. It's so tiring. But you have to make up your mind. Like if you really want to stay abroad, that the school that coming to study,
Yeah.
you must finish it.
Yeah.
So you must try to figure out a way to pay the school fees, whether if someone is giving you or you are borrowing or you are doing 10 jobs or 5 jobs, it doesn't matter. What
Mm.
what matters is at the end of the day, did you finish the studies? Which
Yeah.
which will give you, like a support or a boost to go into the world to search for a job.
Mm. Wow, that's so inspiring. But yeah, you spoke about doing two, three jobs, you know. I want you to explain to us because I used to understand that being an international student, you are limited to certain hours of, job you can do. I don't know if it's applicable to Europe also because in the UK, I know you can't do more than 20 hours per week. So how were you able to manage that?
I mean, it's quite different in Europe here,
Oh,
especially the Scandinavian countries. Yeah, it's quite
oh,
different from the UK and other countries. Here, they don't disturb you. You have the right, as long as you're a student, you have the right to do any kind of jobs. How many
so you can
hours?
work unlimited hours.
Yeah, but here, one thing you have to know is the more you work, the more you pay tax.
Absolutely.
Do you
Yeah.
understand? So if you think maybe you are making like 2,000 euros, and you add that job, you make 3,000 euros.
Yeah.
But you, uh, from the 1,000 euros extra you make, I'm talking about example. I'm just using pounds
Yeah.
because of many people will be used to it or dollars, whatever. But I'm giving an example.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you add another extra 1,000 to that, maybe at the end of the day, when they tax you, you might be getting like 400.
Out of 1,000.
Yeah, because
What?
our tax is right now is 33.5%. It's so high.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I mean, so the more you work, the more you pay. But then I don't care. For me, then
Yeah.
400 is a plus to the 2,000. It's just
Absolutely.
yeah, but it's just my body was so weary, so tired. But I had to focus. I need money for my school fees. I need money for my rent. I need money to fuel my car. I need money for my insurances. Like and making some mistakes at the early parking at a wrong spot, coming back and they ticket you like you just park to buy something and you come back, you see a yellow ticket in your car. Maybe when you convert the money to Nigeria is around 250,000
Wow.
just to ticket you. Like yo, it's crazy.
Yeah. That's massive. Okay, now let's come back home. We'll see, maybe we'll later dive into that aspect of it. Uh, Now, when you started preparing, because I know to study abroad is a lot of hard work. It doesn't just come easy. It's not all about just submitting your application. Now, let's come back on now. When you were preparing to submit your application to study, because I want our viewers to understand what kind of process it took you, and what it will take them when they want to make that kind of a move. So can you let us into how you prepared and what kind how okay, before we go that, how did you even come across Iweniyi? Let's go by that. How did you come across
In,
Iweniyi? Yeah.
I mean, we've come for me, you're a professional, you know that.
No, no,
Yeah,
no, no.
and a professional in whatever thing you are doing. I mean, I really enjoyed your company and your advices, your helps. I mean, you've been so instrumental to me coming to Sweden. To be honest with you, I mean, I want the world to know that. I mean, calling you a professor is not a mistake. Yeah, I mean,
Don't let Malga hear.
I mean so, but I must tell anyone listening to me, like gathering your documents is not something you just wake up and you just go to a cafe and you just do your PDF scan print. No, before you even start thinking about traveling abroad, you need to do a research first on your own. It's not everything someone can do for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's will help those that help themselves. So one mistake our people in Nigeria do is they meet agents and they hand an agent over everything to do. So
Sure.
when the person goes for an interview and they ask the person, okay, what course did you put? You don't even know. What's the meaning of the course? You don't even know. How many ECTS? How many ECTS? How many
You can't
university?
explain.
Do you understand? So
Yeah.
when they ask you, okay, the country you're going, what was the capital? You don't even know. So my point there is you need to do research on your own first and know if this will benefit you.
Hmm.
At least the preliminaries. You can't know, but at least know the kind of culture, the code, how they study and all
Yeah.
that. Then the second thing is the requirements. What are the requirements? Sit down first and know if you have all the documents. When you know or you have all the documents, then you start prepping up, scanning, saving folders and all that. Then the next thing is to check when is the school. Where is the school? Can this give you an admission? The course you are picking? Do you have the requirements for the course you're picking? Because you can't just go and put any course. Like Sweden is quite different from UK. You know
Yeah.
that already.
Yeah.
You- They give you an opportunity to pick three courses and like of your choice.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to study example. You want to study maybe you're an engineer. Your bachelor's degree. Maybe you're an engineer. Maybe your background is civil. Maybe then you want to do your masters in mechanical engineer. Yeah, you can put that, but they will give you another opportunity to pick three more courses, maybe chemical, mechanical, civil, whatever. So if they don't give you this, they'll give you that one. If they don't
Yeah.
give you the other one, and if you merit them the admission to get for the three of them, they'll give it. Then you choose one you want.
Hmm.
So you have to get prep yourself first, get the requirements. But in my case, I had to sort out advices from you and you were so helpful, like, okay, uh see the steps, see. So in my own case, it was like two people coming together to
Yeah. Reason together.
reason together, and there's nothing like someone giving you a guideline. You can do it on your own,
Yeah.
but it's easy, but if you're doing it for the first time, you might feel like I can't do it. So but if you have someone
Hmm.
around you, guide you around. I mean, it's so much more easier. In my own case, your help, your advices, your guidance, really, like I didn't even feel it. The only
Yeah.
time I like is this going to happen is when I was waiting for, yeah, because here you have to wait till your name turns to patience.
Hmm.
Getting the visa, and that's so like
It's
so
a long
tiring
wait. Yes. Yes.
before you get the visa, because they have to scrutinize you properly. Yeah,
Wow, thank you. So, to people that may be, watching us from home, you think, oh, maybe somebody you just see now speaking, from abroad. It is not a piece of cake. It takes a lot of strategic planning, intentionality, and hard work.
yeah,
And he made mention of something, going to, meet agents. Yeah. So far, so long you have a bachelor's degree, these are some of the things you can do yourself, just as Frankie did his own himself without consulting with an agent. And for me, it baffles me when some people say, "Oh, I use agent. Oh, I can't
yeah,
access my agent. They lock my password. I can't access the email to get some vital information." That
yeah,
is so ridiculous. Now, what Frank is saying is, what you need is just mentorship. You need somebody who can say, okay, you can run to ask questions as, oh, how do I do this? And the person is able to give you, advice on how to go ahead with your application. Now, thank you for giving us that insight. Now, when you submitted your application. Eventually, the admission came, and now it was time for you to move to the next stage, which is visa application. During the visa application, as the time you submitted your application, what were the thoughts running within you? Because I know you be like a double-minded person. Oh God, would this be realistic or not? What were you thinking about?
I mean, I have lots like the first.
And don't forget to tell us how long the timeline.
Yeah. Okay. Let me start from the last one. Like the timeline differs from every country. You understand? Like the timeline here for you to after submission and before they give you the admission, like to take you have to wait for like 3 months, some wait for 4 months. So when they give you the admission, you have the admission, then you have to proceed for an interview, which is that is the stage where those thoughts will start coming. Am I sure pass the interview? Most people actually get the admission, but they fail the interview.
That's the the worst part.
That's the worst. Yeah, almost there, which is the last phase. You
Kai.
know, that's where in my own case, I took the process like an admission. I was studying, like I was doing research on my own. And already I was going ahead researching interview questions,
Mm.
Sweden embassy interview questions worldwide. You know, every day I was reading, memorizing, cramming, whatever that can help me. Asking people, calling you like, oh, yo, bro, what if this happens? What if that? Call people. The main thing is the time. My own time will be different from another person here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because some people came in with D visa. They waited for like five months. So when it's like, and I mean, there's so many factors. But in my own case, it took me like 3 months plus before they gave me the admission. Then the thought of what if I fail the interview? Then the interview date, I went for an interview, and the first thing they checked or they did was I came in and did my biometrics. And after doing my biometrics, they asked me, "Can I see your your bank account, the status of account?"
Hmm.
Yeah, that's the first thing before they
They want
talk.
to know if you have the financial muscle to be able to
That's the
finance
first thing
yourself.
they know because these guys here, they need the money.
Of course, yeah.
I think they're giving you the admission. Yeah, it doesn't take them anything to give you admission, but they need your money
Yeah.
still. You know,
Millions of naira for the school fees.
yeah. So they have special units inside there. So the guy took my bank statements, went into the room, only him, and closed the door. Already,
Your
already I know
bank
what.
will do be.
No, of course I know I have. Of course I know I have money in my account.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, in
fine.
my own case, I know I have is genuine. I planned for it. The
Yeah.
money was there, so it wasn't like I did flashing, like
Yeah,
flashing
yeah, 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 yeah.
and removing, or you don't have
So your
enough
mind was at is that you have scaled through that process.
on that part. My
Yeah,
part is the interaction with the whoever that is going to interview you.
yeah,
Eh, Just pray to God that they should ask you what you know or what you can.
yeah. That you know fumble.
I mean, so during the interview, the guy came out, looked the lady, and nodded. Like the nod is a sign everything okay.
Yeah.
Then the interview didn't even take. It didn't take up to 10 minutes.
Wow.
It didn't take up 10 minutes. Like, what's your name? Where going? Which courses? That's where those things. Why do you want to study in Sweden? All those things.
Hmm.
All those. Why do you know? All those things you wrote in your.
Yeah. Why the course? Why this country?
They will,
Why
say,
the university?
they will ask. That is the bone of contention here, bro. If you say something different from what was on the paper, they know somebody did it straight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, why do you want to travel to Sweden?
Hmm.
Why do you want to study this course? Which course is that? What's the meaning of that course? How many semesters do you have to take
Wow.
for you to finish? How many years do you want to study? They ask you about the school. Which school is that? Where is it located?
Hmm.
You know, in my own case, there was one question that's still on my head up to now that I can't forget. I read that in the month. I already have an answer, but I read that in on what's the site? Netherland, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. They asked me why do I choose Sweden?
Hmm. Hmm.
And I felt what I read on my way coming to the embassy. I was a very good answer, which I gave them, and the lady was before my interview finished. The lady looked at me and said, "No, you know what? Welcome to Sweden." I'm like, "Oh,
Wow.
okay, okay." It's quite an experience, yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. That is massive. I
Mm.
know the experience can be kind of emotional, kind of like stressful and draining. from day one to day. But the only thing you need to calm your nerves is welcome to Sweden. And you
Yeah.
know that, yes, your struggle eventually paid off. Now you are in Sweden. For the past 4 years, how has it been with you? Can you give us, a snapshot of how life has been in Sweden?
I mean, it's not been easy, but and which I tell people calling me, sending emails, WhatsApp, and all that. Don't ever think you come to abroad and you start picking money on the streets. Don't always believe what people tell you, because when you come to whichever country is that, the reality will face you.
Hmm.
In my Since I came to Sweden, like, I've seen them deport so many people,
Wow.
so many. Even the guy that welcomed me, they deported the guy too. So I mean, it's not been easy. That a time will come when you will look up and you ask God, where does my help come from? I
No
mean,
family, nobody,
I mean,
all by yourself.
Sweden is not America. It's not UK. This is a pure white man's
Yeah.
country. Where I live right now, I live in between the white people.
Please
Like,
continue. Continue.
you can't, like, you can't even. This is not where you walk on the street with the blacks. This is where you go. Maybe you go to the club, and you're the only black man in the club. You go to, maybe you want to go to the lake or hiking. You are the only black man on the street. So it's not been easy, and it will come tough from the beginning,
Hmm.
except if your father is a rich man. We
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
I don't have a rich father. I'm not saying we are poor, but I don't have a rich father, uncle, or a senator, a politician. No, everything was on me.
Hmm.
So so I have to make up my mind that I must make it. Failure is not an option.
Exactly. Exactly.
you know I worked, like, it's not easy to combine your studies with not just one job, not
Hmm.
just two, not just three, because
Wow.
you need to calculate how much is your school fees. Can this one job pay the school fees? How much is
Yes.
can
Yes.
how much you bought a car, you have insurance, you have taxes, you're making mistakes, they're giving you tickets. Like, at a point, I asked a friend of mine, I said, is there any week or a day that I can sit down and smile or laugh or throw a joke, because I'm always, like, in a bad mood. The moment I want to smile, I will check my email, one bill. The moment you want to laugh, you check your email, school fees. You check your email, assignment. They call you, they give you tickets. Yo, bro, it's one problem from here to another one. But
Hmm.
as a year, it's still 1 year. It says 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. You see the problem start going down, bit by bit.
Yeah.
As long as you are in the system,
Yeah.
coming to do masters abroad is not a guarantee that you will live in that country.
Exactly.
The second thing is, you yourself is the person that will deliver yourself. You have to make the move by yourself and for yourself. People
Hmm.
can people can say whatever they want. People can People can be saying, making comments, saying, but it's you that will stand up, go to your laptop, go to the office, and search for this job by yourself.
Yeah.
Nobody does anything for anybody abroad. People can give you advice and they go.
Hmm.
Do you understand one thing? So you must make that move intentionally.
Hmm.
Intentionally, then you need to key on information. As long as you are in abroad, information is key and very, very important.
Yeah.
You need to be asking questions. Don't forget how people sees you. If maybe you might think that they will say you're asking too much, bro. I ask both white, black, yellow. I ask questions. I need more information to fit myself, because the policy keeps on changing.
Every
When
day. Yeah.
when we came, the school fees then and now is not the same. Right now that the country is proposing that if you come to study, you will study and you don't have to work till after. Now you see the policy keep on changing, so you need to adapt. But the key thing there is, try and be in the system. What do I mean by try and be in the system? Try to get a job, a permanent job. In Europe here, we have lots of jobs.
Hmm.
That's not a problem, but can you get a permanent job that will pass the threshold of the minimum requirement,
Okay.
that for the minimum, that's minimum wage?
Yeah.
Yes, the minimum wage here is is so high that most many many companies cannot even afford to take you in, so they sack many people and leave only people that have their PR, permanent residency, or citizens to do those jobs.
Okay.
So we immigrants that are searching for jobs that can keep us in the country, we need to,
Exactly.
you know what I'm talking
And
about.
you need to fight for it.
Fight
You
for
need
it.
to
And
fight because it's highly competitive.
survival of the fittest. Everybody is searching for a job, you can imagine.
Hmm. Hmm. Wow. Lovely. So now what we are saying is like living, I mean, going abroad, you need a lot of preparation, mentally,
Yeah.
financially, in order for you to like find your footings when you eventually get to where you are going to.
Yes, but
Uh,
just to point out something, don't be
yeah.
discouraged
Yeah.
about the finances, but at least have finance to an extent. Then, like before coming, I know I don't have the money to pay the third school fees. You pay the first one, yeah. Second one, yeah. But the third one, I know that I can't foot that bill.
Hmm.
So what do I have to do? I have to start picking jobs. Like that first month I came in,
And
start picking
prepare ahead.
whichever job it is, pick it, be doing. Forget, God is watching. He knows you're trying. Do
Yeah.
your best and leave the rest for God.
Yeah.
Many people have, like, that came to study. They went back by themselves without anybody deporting them.
Chasing them.
So you can see it's not child's play.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Excuse me.
Okay. Now, you spoke about not having the school fees for like the 3 semester after. So now, what would you advise somebody? Because somebody, I remember when I first relocated to the UK, somebody, my former colleague, called me and said, "Okay, if I come to the UK, is it possible for me to work and use the money to pay my school fees?" What would you say to that?
It's not possible, especially for the first school fees and the second one.
Hmm.
It's not possible. Why do I say it's not unless you have millions of money you've already saved, or someone supporting you
Yeah.
back there from Nigeria. In my own case, nobody was supporting me, So I know my what.
Hmm.
I had to sit down, calculate the bills down to the groceries, down to whatever I need to, you know. I had to calculate everything, and I know. Tell yourself the truth, like, bro, I know I can't do this. If I stay like this, next three the sections to come, I can't do it.
Hmm.
Do you understand? So my advice is don't ever hope, because I don't know about UK, I don't know about America, but
UK is even totally impossible in the UK.
guys
20
have,
hours job cannot even feed you.
because you guys have limits there, yeah. But
Yeah.
here we don't have limits. Still, it's not possible. Why do I say still it's not possible? Because um, what kind of job do you want to do first? There are so many types of job. So
Yeah.
you have to sit down and check.
Yeah.
If it's a job that can give you, like you want to do food delivery, for an example, then you need a car.
Yeah.
If you need a car, you need money to buy that. You need to fill your benzene. You need to pay for the tax. What's it called? Insurance.
Okay.
That's a must. Then there's this tax you pay when you buy a car on the car duty.
Okay.
You have to pay it, and these are not cheap, and you pay this every year. Do you understand?
Hmm.
Then insurance, it depends. You can pick up 6 months or 1 year straight. It depends. Then
Okay.
finally, you make some mistakes parking your car wrongly. You get tickets here and there before you learn how to start parking your cars and all that. So forget about coming. Okay, coming to
To work
maybe
and use the money to pay your fee.
you have to ask yourself, what if I don't get the job?
Hmm. Which is very, very rare to find.
It's very, very rare to find.
And
You
even
see,
the cost of living alone will take, the lion part of the money.
and don't forget why you are looking for the job. You are paying your rent every month.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is nothing like here you pay like now we are in February, right?
Yeah.
But I've already paid for March.
Wow.
Do you get me? So we pay 1 month ahead. I'm in
I
February,
heard
but I've paid for March. So when we get to March, I will pay for uh
April.
April. So you
Oh,
can't even.
you can't. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
I-
So it's not like Nigeria that you'll be begging your landlord.
You get, yeah.
Wow. 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 Now, moving on to the next question. Uh, Now, for me, I would say, okay, should I say, how did you prepare mentally? Because I want to focus more on the academic now.
Okay.
How would you say you prepared yourself? And when did you finish your bachelor's degree in Nigeria compared to when you started your MSc? And how did you prepare for the new academic challenge? And how were you able to cope during the study?
I think I've said this before. Like the way we study in Nigeria is quite different from the
Yeah.
way we yeah. Like I finished my bachelor's 2010.
Wow.
So you can imagine the difference, you know,
That's over 10 years
over
difference.
10 years. So wouldn't me before I travel, like I'm like, yo, it's not possible. Me,
How I go do am now?
I want to do that kind of thing now. Like my it's not possible. Like how can
Because
I?
some people will tell you, say, my head no carry book again, I beg.
You understand?
Yeah.
Like you know, I go to cafe to check my email, send emails, scan. I'm like, how do I start? Like, how where do I even start? Like, is this possible? Like, but I must tell you, bro, there's nothing like learning. It's a process. This life will keep learning and developing.
Mm.
So there's nothing impossible for anyone to do.
Yeah, sure.
You know, look at me today. I'm like, since I finished my masters, I've done two programs. I told you about one, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
one yeah, I've done two more programs on my own. So I try to develop them every year. It's still the same routine, good classes. Just did some diplomas here and there to support my what I
Academic and professional development, yeah.
so I can see how to step up from my workplace and all that.
Hmm.
So when you come, yeah, definitely it's going to be so different. Like to even locate your classroom for the first time, might take you like 1 week or 2 weeks.
Yeah, I remember that time when you were calling me in Nigeria. Where is my class? I said, Mama put no day here, bro.
So, you know, to navigate through the site of the school site,
Yeah,
Canvas here, Canvas CANVAS is a school site where you have
yeah,
to log
that's your portal, yeah.
portal and navigate the
Yeah,
courses,
for your studies and all the courses.
to even locate the courses, the timetable for your class, like it's so hard. Then when the classes start, you'll be like, okay, when are we taking exams and all that? Here we don't take exams. I don't know the courses. Most courses here
Yeah, majority of masters program abroad don't do exams.
we don't do exams. It's take home, go home, do your research, come back. We do more of seminars. Seminars is more of interaction with you and your lecturers and your fellow students. You don't have to contribute what you've learned or
You
studied.
do presentation, group assignment, and all that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I mean, so I mean that's by
Okay,
but at the end of the day, you yourself will know. Oh man,
it
I've
paid off.
if paid off. You can see the changes. Your mental, like the way you are thinking, the way you see life, the way you understand things, the way you even speak is
Hmm.
quite totally different from but what we
How you were.
do back there in Nigeria. Yeah,
Okay. Now, based on that, now you've done, even after your master's degree, you've done a couple of other professional development programs, which is aimed at, making you to develop and, grow at your job. Now, would you say, because before you moved to Sweden, you had some expectations.
yeah.
So as at now, 4 years, down the drain, would you say your expectations match the reality of what you have currently? You had something
Oh,
you have in
oh
mind.
yes. Oh
So
yes.
would you say, oh, at least your expectations have been met? If you were, to compare,
Bro, I'm so happy. You can see the way I'm smiling, you know.
I can see your face.
I'm so happy right now. Like, you know, in fact, I would say I'm the most blessed guy ever, you know.
Hmm,
Because when we came, we've heard so much stories like it's not possible to get a job. I mean, the country, the Swedish guys, they won't give you a job till you know how to speak Swedish. I'm like, yo, jag kan förstå lite svenska. Sorry, I
hmm.
spoke Swedish to you. I said, sorry, I can speak a little of Swedish.
Swedish, wow.
I can förstå, like I can understood, I can
Mhm.
understand. So, I mean, I have to start learning how to speak. Most of us, we can speak a bit, but we can't even write.
Yeah.
That is to tell you how the pressure that was put on us at least to speak, to communicate with someone that will even give you the job.
Hmm.
So now, coming back to your question, I mean, my expectations already has been met since last
Long
2 years.
ago. Wow.
Since last 2 years, because it's just like someone in Nigeria, like everyone in Nigeria currently now. When you ask them what's the highest paying job in Nigeria, they will say working in an oil company, right?
Yeah.
And it's everyone's dream. And when you see Shell or NNPC do advertisements, you'll be like, yo, I wish I can find it. If I find a job here, God has
And it is very difficult.
uh,
It's not for the ordinary man.
yeah, no, it's for yeah, of course it is up to now.
Hmm.
So that is how it was to me, coming here, watching advertisements of one of the top companies here, and I'm like, yo, shit, can I get this kind of job, yo? Bro, do you know that I never know at times when we speak, God hears, you know.
Yeah.
I can remember on one, two, three occasions I've gone to bed looking up and I was awake from 2 o'clock in the morning till 6 in the morning. What am I
Wow.
doing? I'm thinking about my life. Like, how do I get a job? What do I do?
Hmm.
Not have a job, but a permanent job that can.
Yeah, yeah. That will be able to sort you.
And the only thing that keeps on coming in my mind is that which I have watched in the night. Because the night they have their national television, their advertisements, these top companies, they show. So I'm like, one day, I'm like, but this company, bro, let me just try. I know they will trash me out. Let me just try. I tried the first one, I was rejected.
Wow.
But then opportunity, I saw more positions coming on. I tried the second one, I was rejected. Fourth, fifth, sixth one, I was rejected entirely. Now I was like, yo,
Wow.
I'm sure these people, my name, that by now they must have taken note of my name in
Okay,
my.
the ones they see, they just strike it off.
Yeah, I tell you, this guy, no, 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 no. So after the sixth one, which I was jumping up like I've gotten. It wasn't even up to 1 week. They called me, hey, you know what? We are sorry, we are moving on with other candidates. Like before the woman could even finish, I called the phone. I didn't want to hear the rest, and I'm like, okay, fine. But something miraculously happened. 2 days after, I got an email. I don't know who the hell is that.
Hmm.
A white guy emailed me, and he said, hello, my name is Susan. I don't want to call the name. My name is Susan so person. Um, I was among the people that interviewed you on the fifth one I applied. They called
Okay.
it. I said, yeah. That I went on vacation, but I'm back. And he checked to see if I was employed already, that I was not there. That he didn't know what happened, that he recommended me, but
Wow.
he didn't know why. Then he asked me, do I still need this job, but in another position? Within me, I'm like, these scammers, yo.
Is how possible now?
This scammers, uh, can we rest for the? I'm like, okay, there's nothing harm in follow up. I say yes, of course, I did the job. He said, okay, that someone is going to contact me. I'm like, this scammers, this guy is really trying my.
He begin to toss you around.
I mean, I said, fine. That someone is going to contact me within hours. Bro, guess who contacted me? The HR of the company. Do you know that this white guy went and made a case for me? I don't know what's going on. It's just
Wow.
like God fighting for you, and somewhere there.
Yeah.
Straight. The guy went and made a case for me, and he said that he recommended that the interview he did with this guy, that this guy is so sharp in thinking. He answered the questions that he can see something in me.
Hmm.
That why am I not? They couldn't give him any answer. He said,
Wow.
then he now recommended me to the HR straight that they should employ me.
Wow.
Bro, 3, 4 days, 5 days, nobody called me. I'm like, I know, Then one thing came to my mind, and I said, okay, just write this guy and update him like nobody has contacted you. I wrote the guy email. Like after writing the email, I sent the email. Before I sent the email, the guy called me straight, like, hello.
Really?
Call me with his personal number, which never happens. Like, am I sure they've not? Did I check my email? I said, nobody. He said, hold on the line. He wrote an email. After writing an email, he cut the call. The HR called me direct. He said, she said, hey, are you so person that she has heard so much about me? Blah, blah. Like, okay, I'm calling for so company. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. When do you want to sign the contract?
What?
I'm like, I got confused. Like, sign which contract? Like, whenever I even do interview, you're talking about contract. So it means that when the guy made a case for me on the HR, he said I passed the interview.
Yeah, so
Like,
they use the other interview for you.
so in my own case, I was positioning myself. So the HR said, "I'm sorry, I would have called you. I have so many names on my list, but now my case is priority. When do I have time?" So when I told her, okay, so I said, "Can we talk today? I have time today. There is no talk. Let's talk today." She said, "No,
Yeah.
within few days, 2 days or 3 days, the exact time she called me. So I was preparing myself for the interview and all that. She said, "No, we're not doing interview. How much would you want us to pay you?"
Really?
I'm like, there's some questions you ask somebody.
You'll be dumbfounded.
Some, imagine somebody who is earning in Nigeria, for example, you are earning like 1 million naira, and somebody is giving, and you said, okay, can you pay me 1.5? And the person is laughing at you 1.5. Oh, come on, bro.
Do
That's
you
too.
know what you are doing?
Do you know what you're saying? She knows that I don't know the capacity of the company. Like,
Hmm.
I know. Example. I'm giving an example. Like, example, I'm earning 1.5,
Yeah.
1 million, and she said, and I said 1.5. She said that, and I'm like, when she was laughing, I'm like, did I say? Is it too much? Oh. She said, no, bro, we can't pay you this. No, that's too small. Imagine somebody giving you an offer from 1.5 to like 7 million naira.
What?
And I'm like, when I heard the amount, I'm like, what did you say?
Jesus Christ.
I'm like, who am I to say no? I mean, it didn't end there. They're gonna pay your accommodation for 1 year. I'm like, what?
Wow. Jesus Christ.
Like, I'm like, incentives for traveling out of my zone to the company. Like, she 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 was telling me what they will pay me. I'm like, I'm just at the point my brain and mind was empty. I'm like, okay,
You were
just
just hearing, but you were not listening.
yeah, I was not listening. Like, it was just too. So this is how God turned up for me. I mean, so looking back is a testimony. I just took our time to let the world know
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah,
there is
yeah.
nothing impossible for God to
With
do.
God and hard work, yeah.
As long as you consistency, the menial jobs you are doing, don't complain. Don't murmur too much. I know it's so tiring and all that.
Yeah.
God will test you with those small ones and see how
Mhm.
you handle them before He gives you the bigger one.
Yeah, sure.
So if you are the one that complains too much, skip going to your work and all that. It may not come, but consistency. Keep on trying. Like I said, I was rejected 6 times.
Hmm.
But you saw how it happened.
At the end
God,
of the day.
God win.
Hmm.
So that company I was watching in TV, that is where I'm working.
Wow.
So
That's the exact reflection of dream comes true.
exact. So my expectations has been met last 2 years.
Hmm.
So some people come. It depends on how you position yourself. Some people have been there for 5, 10 years, nothing. So you must not stay in abroad 20 years because people are discouraging you. Do you know how many years I've been here, bro?
Yeah.
I'm not you. The God I serve is not. I don't know about the God you serve, but
Yeah.
everyone has a spirit that leads them. And I
Yeah.
must not be here for 5 years before I make it. I,
Mm-hmm.
I would say I, I would say I made it within 2 years. I came to travel abroad, so you can see the difference between
Yeah.
Nigeria and traveling abroad and traveling in a proper way.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I remember my mentors used to say, if you want to travel and succeed, most especially in this contemporary society, the best route is for you to go on study route. Because being a student, you're already, part of the system and you already carry their certificates. So that alone opens that doors of opportunity for you. Even in places you can even like you now, it was like a dream. That are you serious? Like somebody in Nigeria who never even dreamt of working in one local company and now an international or a multinational company is
Yeah,
even begging you, asking you how much should we pay you.
imagine.
So for me, I think the takeaway from this story is just for us to be consistent, like you rightly said, and don't ever complain, you know, then be hardworking at whatever you do. And above all, put your trust in God because He said our help will come from Him. So you never can tell. Now, looking at what the picture you just painted now, if you are to do a kind of comparative analysis, Sweden versus Nigeria, what would you say? I know you're going to shake your head. What would you say the kind of difference that you have actually, because you've lived in Nigeria for over 30 years, if I'm not mistaken, and now you are just 4 years in Sweden. Would I say it is enough for you to be able to compare? But within the little time you've spent, what would you say is the difference between, or one or two things?
I know even your viewers that will watch this, they'll be like, "Is that a question, bro?" The person they will say, "Do you know do you know how much is the fuel price there?" Although when I checked how much we are paying for the gases, benzene, and all that, is way much higher. But that's not the case because we earn more. So
Of
I'm not
course.
complaining about that.
Yeah.
But looking back, I mean, where do I even start? I would say, let me even start with security first.
Hmm.
Yes, we have instances. Last week or last 2 weeks, there's one city up south, Olebro, that was a shootout, mass shootout.
Hmm.
One guy went to the street and shot like 10, 12 people. Yeah, but it really happens, and these kind of things happen during winter period. When people are more depressed during winter period. People, the darkness. We have like
Yeah.
from 1 o'clock in the afternoon is so dark, like
Wow.
it's dark like 12 midnight till the next day. We have 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours daylight and all that. Yeah, So we understand, but still, regardless, you're not the only one in the country for you to do that. But
Of course.
yeah, but still going back, the security where the city I am in right now, I've n- I've never heard a gunshot. I've never heard a gun. I've never like we park cars. Like my car right now is parked downstairs, but the doors are not locked. I didn't lock it with key, with the remote, because I just came up. I went to the mall to buy stuff, and I came up and we're having this podcast. So and I'm not scared if anyone. You can't even steal the car. Where would you go when there's cameras everywhere? So
Yeah, they will track
difference
you.
the difference is like trekking for Buhari 10 times now in this hard economy. Because before you would trek from the north to the east, they will kidnap you. Is it light?
Hmm.
Talk about security. You talk about the hospital. The
Hmm.
hospital here is free. You know, I go to hospital. I don't pay any shit. I don't pay any dime. I just buy the card, which you don't need to pay straight. You just go do whatever you want to do. Come out. They send you the bill. Small, pay like 5,000, 4,000 just for the card. That's all. The
Mm.
hospital is free. The school for people that have kids is free. You can access the loan any amount you want. Yeah, everybody has not any
Limit.
want but limits. Yeah,
Yeah.
depending on
Yeah,
credibility. Yeah,
status. Yeah.
yeah, you can access the loan. So I mean, can buy your car, buy a house. You be living inside and paying. Nobody does that in Nigeria. You
Who
can
will
buy
give you the loan?
good road. The tax you're paying, like I said earlier on, the tax is high, but the tax is really
You
working.
can see the effect. Yeah, the impact. Sorry.
Because they cleared, sweep the streets, sweep the sand on the road. Like, bro, I don't even know where to start. You can't even compare. Don't even say compare Nigeria with Sweden.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sweden with that country, not Nigeria.
Yeah. Well, okay, okay, fine. We understand where you are coming from. Now,
Yeah.
let me say, since you've been to in Sweden, have you ever gone back to Nigeria? That is one. Then the second question is, what is that particular thing that you miss, from Nigeria? Something that you miss that, oh, if I were in Nigeria, I think I would like to do this, or this is something that I'm missing about Nigeria.
Yes. Like I traveled 1 year after coming to Sweden. That's to tell you how buoyant the guy is.
You were really prepared as a student.
As a student, I was really buoyant. Like I was seeing the money. So I
Yeah.
traveled 1 year after coming. Then this I just traveled. I went on my vacation this year. I went on January. I came back on
So in
February.
4 years, you've been to Nigeria twice.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's so nice there with the weather there. So I love traveling during the winter period. Just
Yeah. At least go and enjoy the sun there.
yeah. So so what do I miss there? I miss the good food Nigeria has.
The
Like,
food.
like yo, bro, when you eat the say, where do I even start? Like I have good food. Because the only thing we eat here, if you don't cook, the only thing you can eat here is eat burgers, sushi, pizza. What else?
Yeah.
Noodles, pasta. That's all. I mean,
Yeah. Fish and chips.
feel like normal. Pasta like that now.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing more.
Yes. So,
But you miss the pounded jam there, but with the dick icon.
oh, I miss the food. So it's so nice, so nice. Like if even if it's only the food and the
Yeah.
people meeting, seeing your
Of
friends.
course. People you've seen for long.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. Now, looking at where we are now, I think I want us to end this in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So now, what are some of the habits that you've picked, in Sweden? I know definitely there are some culture, some, stuff like I can hear you speak Swedish, although even if it's not fluent, but I'll still enroll to come and learn from you. However, what are some of the habits that you have picked, in this new country, just to have that sense of belonging?
Uh, uh, I used to be a loud person when I was in Nigeria, like so loud. I used to have friends, lots of friends. But when you come here, nobody even needs to talk to you before you have to turn it down by yourself. I mean, when you come, you see how people behave. The society will position you,
Yeah.
brain- brainwash you with or without your consent.
Hmm.
As long as you want to be a citizen of
Hmm.
any country. So for me, that's how I've analyzed it. Before you become a citizen of any foreign country, you must pass through a process
Hmm.
for them to give you that their red passport or blue passport.
Hmm.
There must be an exchange. They must teach
Sure.
you. They must teach you their ways, their culture, how
You
to
will be ready to compromise. Yeah.
thank you. So if they're giving you that, they have brainwashed you knowingly or unknowingly.
Hmm.
I don't mean in a negative way,
Yeah, I
but
know. Yeah, they've taken away your old life, giving you a new life.
give you a new life. And that's why you see most of us when we come back to Nigeria, the way we'll be staying, the way we'll be reasoning, or what
Yeah,
we are.
they would think you are proud.
They would think you are proud or you are forming. It's not forming, it's not proud, but you can't help it. You are not that same person they used to know.
Yeah.
I used to have lots of friends, but when you come to abroad, you start, you have to, they will teach you that you must be independent of yourself. You must believe in yourself.
Yeah, but
Trust,
because another thing is there's no time to even be looking for friends. You have
you
bills
know,
to pay. You rather go and work.
bro, I don't even know my next door neighbor. I've not even seen whether it's him or her. Before, before I used to like, let me, but now I don't even have the time to check you out. Talk more. I don't want to know. I'm so busy.
Hmm.
I'm just like I'm off today. That's why we could talk this.
Yeah,
And I'm off tomorrow now for a few days. If
yeah,
not, I should be sleeping. If you call me, I'll be resting. So
yeah,
we keep quality friends now. Like we don't keep loads of friends. We just keep two.
yeah. The ones that are useful and impactful to your career.
We just keep them, and in a month you might not have seen them or talk with
Of
them.
course, it's just
So
on
that
phone. Just like you and I. Have we ever met?
do you get it? But somebody
Oh,
will.
like 6 years now.
Yeah, yeah. So you just keep quality friends here and there. When time comes, not even when time, that in some situations, then you know the reason why they are your friends.
Yeah,
So
sure.
then the I would say the culture here is, I don't want to forget Nigeria entirely. I refuse for them to brainwash me in that part. uh, to um to respect our elders and all that, because here nobody greets good morning. Nobody cares how old you are. you know
Yeah, it's a
but
flat environment, parallel
so
environment.
you pick the good ones and leave the ones that will counter react to you know
Okay,
to your being
okay.
of what you are used to. The good ones we pick, the ones that are known to us, we leave it, because here they don't go to church. Most people here are atheists. Sorry to say.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Most people here are atheists. They don't, and still that doesn't mean they're bad people. They're still good.
Yeah, that sense of humanity is there.
You know. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Now, coming back to where we started from, if you are to advise somebody, because I know every country has their own peculiarities, and if you look at countries like Canada, they have the kind of programs that they want you to come and study if you want to make it in their country. Same thing
Mm.
goes for UK, the US. So if somebody say, okay, I want to come to Europe or Sweden precisely, what kind of program would you advise them to look out for when they want to choose a course of study?
I mean,
As in the in-demand skill that immediately they finish, like you now, when you finish, you got a job. So that when they finish, they will not be redundant.
um, here, I mean, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah. Yeah.
For Sweden here, I would say the f- I mean the program you should know or learn that will add more value to you is the language first.
Okay.
Some of our managers we have where I work, some of them don't even have BSc,
Mhm.
just secondary school living certificates. They're managers.
Mhm.
Do you get it?
But they have skills that are in demand.
Thank you.
So
They
what
have
kind of skills do you think is, helping them to
no.
like
I
without
will
a
tell
BS?
I will tell you, like, I don't know if you get where I'm coming from. First things first
Okay.
is,
Or understand the language, yeah.
if you understand the language, if you can speak and write the language, you can get job anywhere, because we have the jobs in demand are more than the people in the country. Do you know our population here in Sweden? We're not even up to 15 million, the whole of Sweden.
Even
So
Lagos is even more than
do you understand? So the jobs in demand in rural areas are more than the people bet, because these are typical traditional people. They
yeah.
will speak that language. Some of them can't even speak English,
Hmm.
so they want you to learn their language. Once
So
you
that
can,
you can communicate well with them.
you have a job. That is one thing first. Then the other one is, you asked which course. Normally everybody will say, be a doctor, be a nurse, be no. Do you know you might be? it might be a painter and you're earning more than a doctor here.
Absolutely. That's very true.
Because here in Sweden we have a basic minimum wage. You cannot pay anybody lower than that.
Yeah.
If the person is a cleaner or whatever, car wash, whatever, you can't pay anybody below that. So they have a minimum wage. You can't go below that,
Mm.
which means they've set a standard that if any way you're working, you're okay. You can pay your bills, pay your rent,
Yeah.
still savings. So
And
I
that's
mean,
per hour, not per
of
month.
course, of
Yeah.
course, of course.
Mm.
So we have a minimum wage. So, but still, if you are into IT, I think IT people they get job faster.
Good. Good.
I think. Then the then the doctors also, yeah.
Yeah. People in the healthcare sector.
Yeah, but if you must be a doctor, you must hear, you must know how the language. If you
Is
must be a
very
nurse,
very
you must
key.
have
Yeah.
speak and write it, because you are treating their people.
Yeah. You must be able to relate with them.
So you see why here is quite different. But when you have a skill in IT, maybe some of these skills, which I might not remember that right now, but I know IT engineering courses. Like someone was employed from Nigeria to my company. I heard
Wow.
that. I heard that. I'm like, how? So I learned the guy is a robotic engineer.
Wow. And they
So
needed him badly.
they don't care where you are. Whether in that one they will take out the language barrier. They don't, just can you speak English
Mm.
language?
Hmm.
You get, yeah. So in that case, they don't care about the language because it's just few people that go for that course. So it must be strategic
Hmm.
when you want to acquire skills. But we have other skills which are not IT engineering. We have like
Yeah.
being a plumber, a painter, a
Yeah.
welder.
Yeah. All
So
those handwork, and
then
their money spinning.
yes, those ones pay more than IT people at times.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
so it depends on the kind of IT course your department you are into and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember, like what you just said now. When I first moved to the UK, I bought a wardrobe and I invited a carpenter to come and help me assemble it. You won't be surprised. He was charging me £50 per hour.
What?
I said, I'm telling you, £50 per hour. And I said, how many hours would you spend? He said he doesn't know until when he finishes. I was like, I was mad. And that £50 per hour is even more than one person's salary in Nigeria.
Yes, of
So
course.
that is to tell you that this hand, if you have anything to do with either you are a tailor, you are a plumber, bricklayer, it's a very, very lucrative enterprise, abroad. Now, we have two more questions to cover. Now, are there some things you wish you knew before you moved to Sweden? Maybe when you were in Nigeria, was there some things you wish you knew before you moved that would have, positioned you better now, if there was any?
Bro, there are some things you will not know as long as you're in Nigeria.
Yeah, sure. Now
Even if
that you know,
even if your brother is there,
yeah, they
you
might not tell you.
even if they tell you, you might not understand
Your
it.
mind will not be there because you are not in the system
So some things are better off seeing than,
practically.
yeah. You see it, then I would say seeing is believing. When
Yeah.
you Because everybody has a peculiar situation and cases. My own case, some people, like I told you, when I came, my sets, some of them they've deported some, many of them have left.
Hmm.
You know, it's a survival of the fittest. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
if,
sure.
if you give up, then you've lost.
Yeah, you give up on your dreams.
So the only thing I would say is, but even then it's late. Like the language, like if I'd known maybe when I was
You
still
have started learning some
do you get me? At least I know how. After all, we learned. They were teaching us Hausa language,
yeah,
Yoruba, French,
French, some French, yeah,
and we can speak at least great
a
on
bit.
French,
Yeah,
bonjour, was there and all that. You
yeah.
know, at least if I had started learning the sweet, but how would you know? You find
You don't
yourself.
know it's in demand, yeah.
This is I mean, at times we're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Okay, now, yeah, globally now, there's this challenge that has to do with housing scarcity and all that. Do you people experience that in Sweden also? Because
Uh,
I know in the UK it might take you ages before you are able to find housing. Even in Canada now they are currently facing housing crisis. So what would you say compare Sweden?
Sweden is quite different, bro. These guys are so professional and they plan like ahead. If I tell you they've planned ahead of 2030, you might not believe me. Let me give you an instance or a scenario. If you are coming into Sweden as a student
Hmm,
and they want to take maybe example like just 100 people for the year,
hmm,
those 100 people they will make space for them in the system.
hmm. So
There,
that you will not be stranded.
you can never be stranded, bro. You can never be stranded. Instead, they will give you a temporary accommodation.
Wow.
They will make like because of you. If the buses are always filled, like they have 10 seats on the buses and five more people are coming, because of these five people, they will buy another bus and put on the road.
To accommodate everyone.
They will know eventually if you will stay. If you will stay, they will build more houses because they know you might want to buy a house and you want
Hmm,
a bigger apartment.
hmm.
They will make it will be there for you. They will start asking you to come and take loan. Not you saying I want. Please come and take loan. Like this,
So that you
bro.
can buy a house for yourself.
Yes, that before they ask you this, you must have a permanent contract and you must have
Yeah.
worked at least for steady 1 year plus. Then they know yes, your tax is straight. You're paying the tax and all that.
You are contributing to the system.
Of course, it must be if you're not contributing to the system, they reject you out straight. But
Absolutely.
yeah.
Now, finally, I need your advice. Generally, what would you say to people who are considering moving abroad, not only Sweden? I know Sweden, any advanced country, they have something in common. So, what would you say are maybe the top two, three things that they should first of all consider before they, start their plans?
First of all, which course do you want to study? Don't travel abroad and say you want to study business administration. Don't go. You say you want to. There's some courses you don't think, bro. I'm saying from I don't know. Sorry, some people might be studying that, but I'm sorry, I don't know. But you
Yeah.
cannot come to Sweden where they speak Swedish, and you say you want to be a lawyer, and you don't know how to speak Swedish.
Yeah.
Who are you going to lawyer?
How do you converse?
Do you get me? So it's more like a wasted effort.
Yeah.
In my own opinion, I'm not saying some people might. I don't know how they will do it.
Hmm.
You know, you must check out. You don't come and just do any course because you want to travel abroad.
Hmm.
So that you will not end up wasting your money. You might develop yourself, but you waste your money because our dream and our prayers is to stay in those countries and you know get
Move
our
on.
yeah
Yeah.
move on, be a citizen at end run.
Yeah.
Then you have to check also the country you're going. What's the language they use, which is let me tell you, the whole Scandinavian country they have their own languages. Name it from Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Norway. Name them. All of them they have Denmark here. They all have their native languages, which they cannot compromise on.
Hmm.
Some courses, some jobs, some positions, you can never get it till you learn how to speak and write.
Wow.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
And also you have to check also the accessibility, like how is the can you access the schools? Are they free? The hospitals, like the social amenities. This is something you should also look out on because I know the difference between here and America. America, you pay for everything, but here we don't pay.
Okay. Okay.
Now,
Okay. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. The past 1 hour, 15 minutes has been so impactful, educative, and informative. Going through the ups and downs, the experience from Nigeria to Sweden, life abroad, hustle and struggles, from working, I mean, from studying to working, and a lot of, sacrifices that you have to, put into the system in order to be able to get to where you are now currently. I know I've had a lot of stories about people who have been abroad for 10, 15 years, even without anything to write home about.
Yeah.
Like you rightly said, everybody has a different story. Everybody has, their time. And I'm very happy each time we talk, each time we chat or call, it's always, good news, and this is one of the things we always want to hear from people who actually, move abroad. And this is born out of the fact that right from the beginning, right from day one, you need to put in the work. You need to see the yeah, you need to see the end right from the beginning. And this is you going through the legal route. Now
Mm-hmm.
you cannot be driving on the street without you don't have to be scared of anybody
No,
harassing
no,
you.
no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no.
So unlike some people who maybe they are on visiting and they have overstayed, they have to be watching their back. This is why, people have to like get the required information, like Riley said, know where you are going to, know their rules, know their policy around, what you are going there to study. Yeah, Frankie, thank you very much for honoring us. Thank you for this opportunity, and hopefully we still call you back some other day, to discuss some other topic around, your experience and living abroad. Thank you, and I'm so happy, most especially for making this maiden edition and having the opportunity to be my host on this program. I'm very, very happy. Thank you, and
My pleasure.
hope to see you. And I wish you all the best in your life endeavor.
And you too. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Pleasure.
Bye bye. Yeah. Now, my people, you've heard it from the horse's mouth. You've learned through the story of Ifeanyi, the way he navigated his way from Nigeria to Sweden now, after 2 years of master's degree, he's now, settled in the Sweden, working, and, like you already heard from him, he said he's been sorted. So if you plan to move abroad, if you plan to relocate, try as much as possible to ensure that you do it the right way. Ensure that you follow the right principle, the right policy, the right protocol, the right process in order for you to make sure that when you get to where you are going, you have that peace of mind and you are already building your future from the first day. This is very, very important so that you will not just have yourself to blame, because moving abroad is a lot of challenges, a lot of work, a lot of stress, most especially at the teaching stage. But eventually, if you are able to be hardworking, put in the work that is required from day one, and not be lazy, you at the end of the day reap the fruit of your labor. You become somebody like Ifeanyi, who is now settled in Sweden. Sweden is not the only country abroad that you can relocate to. So these are some of the juicy packages that we'll be bringing to you for you to learn from people, for you to share from their experiences, what they have been through, and this will help you to make informed decision if you are trying or considering that kind of opportunity or move. So till the next time that will come your way once again, bringing another important personality to share their life experience with you. Please stay tuned and do well to share this broadcast. Do well to subscribe to this channel as we aim to impact you positively. Thank you and have a good weekend.